Hi and welcome to A World of Words. I'm Vanessa and today I'm going to talk about Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. So before I start the review, I just wanted to quickly say that I am over twice as old as the target audience for this book. So just keep that in mind when I say I absolutely loved this book. This is my first time reading Percy Jackson and the Olympians, or any Percy Jackson book at all, really. I've read the two Magnus Chase books that are currently out and I absolutely love them. So I wanted to read Percy Jackson because I missed out on reading it when I was younger because this book was originally published in 2005. And so I was a little bit outside of the intermediate age range at that time. I was firmly the young adult at the time when this book was getting really popular. So I just completely missed out on Percy Jackson. If you haven't heard of Percy Jackson, I'd be pretty surprised. But basically it is about a boy named Percy Jackson who discovers that he is a demigod and he has some special powers. And at first you're kind of wondering who his father is. But you very quickly find out it's not even really that much of a spoiler, I don't think. That pretty much everybody knows who his father is. That is Poseidon, the god of the sea. Then Percy has to go on this adventure with two friends, and it was just a lot of fun. And I'm probably just gonna go right into spoilers because you've probably heard of Percy Jackson. You've probably read Percy Jackson because it seems like everybody has. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say without pretty much spoiling the book. It was a lot of fun, but I kind of want to talk about the details. So if you haven't read Percy Jackson yet and you don't want to be spoiled, I would highly recommend you go pick the book up and then come back and then we can talk about it in all of its details and just have a good time. Alright, see you later if you haven't read the book. If you have read the book, then stick around. So as I was reading this, and I don't know if people have done this before, there's probably been some comparisons, despite the actual content of the book. The characters were starting to remind me a bit of Harry Potter, because we have Percy, who's not quite the chosen one, but he's a pretty special snowflake. And then we have Annabeth, who is super smart, kind of like Hermione. And then we have Grover, who is kind of the comic relief in a sense, but I feel like Percy's almost funnier than Grover. And he's very sweet and very likable and just so supportive of Percy. He was giving me a whole lot of Ron vibes because he's not quite as good at anything as Percy and Annabeth are. And so I was really feeling like Grover was kind of the Ron of the group because in the very beginning, Ron, I don't want to say he can't do anything because he can do anything and I love Ron so much. I feel like, especially in the beginning, Ron is always being overshadowed by Harry. Well, he's always being overshadowed by Harry. And I feel like, at least in this book, Percy was definitely overshadowing Grover. And it was very clear that this was Percy's book and Percy is the hero and then he has his supporting cast of very smart girl and like very nice supportive best friend buddy, and I was just getting a lot of Harry Potter vibes, which is not a bad thing because I absolutely love Harry Potter and I think there was a reference to Harry Potter in this book when the guy at the desk was reading a book about a wizard. I think that was a reference to Harry Potter because Harry Potter came out way before these. Other than that, obviously Ron is not half goat, he's not a satyr, he is a normal wizard, and Hermione is not a tough fighter like Annabeth, and none of them are the children of gods. So I did notice there's sort of the similarities in that dynamic. Obviously this is very different from Harry Potter, so I'm going to stop comparing it now. Annabeth, she is beautiful, she is smart, and she is strong. I'm wondering if we're going to start getting some more character flaws in the future, because right now Annabeth seems pretty perfect. For she's just kind of sad about the fact that her family isn't perfect, and that's not really a personal flaw, that's more of a flaw in her family for blaming everything on her because she attracts monsters. So yeah, I'm really hoping that we're going to get some flaws from Annabeth in the future, because right now her only flaw is that she's a little bit mean to Percy. She calls him seaweed brain, but now that seems like a term of endearment. And then Grover, I'm really hoping we get a lot more from Grover. I like that he's always chewing on tin cans. I think that's kind of adorable and hilarious. I kind of wonder how it works with him and his fake shoes, because that seems really annoying to wear a shoe that's like twice as big, it doesn't even fit on your foot, and then it keeps coming off, and that seems kind of irritating. But yeah, as far as the quest goes, I really liked the quest. I thought it was a lot of fun, and the book actually surprised me with a couple of plot twists that I wasn't expecting. I don't know why it surprises me that there was a plot twist. Okay, I don't remember Magnus Chase having like a super big plot twist in it. Those are pretty straightforward. But I was pretty surprised by the twist in this book, because obviously you expect Hades to be the bad guy, but it turns out, while Hades isn't necessarily a nice guy, it was actually Ares who was causing trouble, and Ares was working for Kronos. I definitely want to brush up on my Greek mythology, because I feel like that would make it a whole lot of fun to read these as well, since they seem to allude to a lot of the different Greek myths in this, which is super fun, especially because myths are so weird, so it's really fun to see them brought in and then talked about so casually, and like, oh yes, of course, because this happened, and it's a myth, so of course it sounds like nonsense, but it's like fact, which just makes it even funnier, because these books were so funny. At first I was a little concerned, because I'd read the first 60 pages, and the first 60 pages were very straightforward, and they were very serious, and I was worried because I thought this book was supposed to be super funny, and I'm like, maybe it's not very funny, I don't know. And then once we got going on the quest, it got really funny, and I was super happy. And I love Riptide, his pen sword, that was super cute. I love how all of the portals and everything in Rick Riordan's books are such normal places, like the Empire State Building leads right up to Olympus. I think that's really clever and really hilarious. I love how he integrates the normal world with the mythical worlds. I also love how Hades, like down in the underworld, you have to go through security to get to the underworld, and how there's a waiting room to the underworld, and it's just so clever how he takes these old myths and makes them like modernized, because obviously the gods would get with the times and start using more advanced technology, because why not? And I love how Annabeth was playing with Cerberus. That was so cute. Poor dog needs more attention. I feel really bad for him, because he was scary, but he was also really sweet. Even when they were showing Hades, I couldn't stop picturing him as Hades from Hercules with the flaming blue hair, even though clearly he didn't look like that in this book. That's just how I'm going to always picture Hades. I can't help it. And I'm pretty sure we're probably going to get more of him, and I'm sure we're going to meet Kronos at some point. I'm not sure how soon we're going to meet him, but it's gonna come up. It's also one called the Titan's Curse, so maybe in that one it'll come up. Oh yes, but what I thought was really funny was the part where in the Lotus Casino, how, like, there were parts of this book that I absolutely loved it, but there were parts of it where I could tell it was really marketed towards kids, because there was the Lotus Casino and they all would just play games, and then there was like endless chips and soda and candy. Which is cool. I was trying to think, what would it be for me that would make me want to stay there? I was like, it definitely would be just like regular candy, because I like candy okay, but it's like, it doesn't have the same draw that it used to as a kid. I stopped eating candy for the most part, so when I do eat it, it gives me a stomachache. But what I would love would be like cupcakes and other baked goods like that. I feel like the lighting's getting weird. But yeah, like cupcakes and cream puffs and stuff, that would be good. And dumplings, Chinese food, and pizza, and French fries, because I do love French fries. Ooh, and like smoothies and frappuccinos, and yeah, I'm just making myself hungry. I was trying to think like what would keep me there. Maybe an amusement park, like a giant amusement park would be super fun. I love Percy's powers though. It's so much fun how he can just go into the water and like say wave, and then the wave goes and attacks people, and that was really awesome. I love water powers. I also love how he can breathe underwater. That would be amazing, because I love swimming. The worst part about swimming is that you can't breathe underwater. if I could just like go underwater and practically swim around. He's practically a mermaid, which is amazing because I love mermaids. And that'd be so cool. So he can go in the water and he can swim and explore, and then he comes out of the water and he's all dry. And I want water powers because that is just so cool. I love it. I love the water powers. I also kind of like Poseidon, even though he's not super nice to Percy yet. I feel like maybe their relationship will grow and they will get more father-son affectionate later, because right now Poseidon's not supposed to be happy that he's alive, which is kind of awkward, but clearly he does like Percy and he loves his mother, and so I want them to be together and kind of be a family, and that would be really cute. But yeah, I do kind of like Poseidon because he's not super mean, and all the other gods seem kind of on the mean side. I would really like to start meeting more of the gods because that would be fun. I like how the different gods are portrayed in these books. I'm so excited for the rest of the series. I can't wait. I really enjoyed this book and hopefully this was entertaining. If you've read Percy Jackson, please let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below because I would love to chat with you about it. And please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I upload new videos on Mondays and every other Friday, plus the occasional bonus video. That is it for today's book talk. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.